kicking up, huh? Hola, hola. Bienvenidos a Esperanza Vence, donde la esperanza vence. Welcome to Esperanza Vence, where hope wins. So today we're pulling in the energies of Thursday, the 17th of July, 2025. I feel like the lighting right now is so mellow. And I also wanted to give you a chance to hear like the storm kicking up out there. It sounds so beautiful, you know? That's a blowing. Maybe I should trade spots. This bouquet can hold up the curtains. Oh, thank you. Oop! I just dropped our whole reading. Here we go. I was going to say thank you for fine-tuning your free will and intuition with me. These are flavors: the Knight of Swords, Ace of Pentacles reversed. Holy moly. Who is literally calling? Stop. Hold on a second. Are you literally serious right now? Are you serious? Holy moly. Y'all know I've never paused a reading before, but I've also never decided to just like listen to the wind, light the Palo Santo, and guess what? It brought in this awesome energy of my dear friend who we actually used to live in Spain together. She was my neighbor pretty much like 5-6 blocks up. She was the next metro stop. Her metro stop was Esperanza, to be precise. And if you've ever listened to Manu Chao, which we did, we listened to a lot of Manu Chao. We went to a Manu Chao concert together before, but he has an entire album called Próxima Estación Esperanza. So let's continue with our reading because we got the jumpers, which was Knight of Swords, Ace of Pentacles reversed. So the Knight of Swords for me was a message coming in really quick, like while we were even doing this video. And it's a reconsideration of, you know, where we're planting our seeds, what we're doing with the gifts that we've been given, basically. Like, what are we exactly doing with the gifts that we've been given? We might be reviewing, you know me, inverted cards, internal energy. I might have to work on something in order for this card to come through clean and clear in my life so that I can accept the heavenly gifts that I've been given and make them manifest in reality in a way that is supportive of the most peaceful and gentle path for me in this lifetime. Me meaning you, meaning me, meaning we, you know? If I say me, it's not like I'm talking about me personally. I just mean like us, you know, us that are tuning in right now. So let's pray. I love you. This is awesome. She has such, I just love her and I'm so glad she called. This is great. Oh, could I please show you something quick though? Before I get too forgetful? Check out this shirt I got. Isn't that pretty? The Grateful Gardener gave me this shirt. It's a tarot card too. I don't know if you can see. See? Number 7. That'd be the Chariot. 17th of July, 2025. Thank you for fine-tuning your free will and intuition with me on this journey we call life. Judgment reversed. Interesting. Justice reversed. And the Four of Pentacles. Well, at the end of the day, we should be able to save some money and have some structure and stability in our life. But prior to that, we might be dealing with situations where, once again, there's that judgment coming through. Yesterday, we had the judgment upright for our final card, our likely outcome, our near future position. Now this judgment is sort of like turning around again. So it's like there's always just this element of fates being at play, but also other people judging how we're doing things, how we're living our lives, how others should and how others shouldn't. And maybe this is that judgment aspect of like kind of scapegoating somebody else's life and seeing what they're doing wrong and how they quote unquote should do things, because we're having trouble looking at ourselves and thinking of the ways that we could be better and improve ourselves. Sometimes it's a lot easier to point out, imperfections in others, or point out, quote unquote, in a helpful way, how things can improve for things outside of ourselves. And then with the judgment in reverse, that just means that maybe we're getting the invitation to do the internal work. Instead of looking outside of ourselves and thinking that we have an idea of how anybody else is going through this situation we call life, Also, this can be like the religious judgment, to where people... There's a lot of people, because I'm just reading for the energy, right? I'm not reading for a specific person. So in the energy right now, it is very prevalent that like there's a lot of people out there that are hoping for, praying for, expecting, and speaking upon their words something about this situation. Like they think that there's some sort of like ultimate, moment of revelation and judgment in the final days of their religion. But when we get really fixated on what we know is going to happen in the future, isn't that a sin in the Bible anyway? Like we're supposed to leave room for God to work. And if we're so stringent, and so I was like literally just talking about this with one of my elders, one of my beloved elders tonight. We sat and we talked for quite a while, and we were talking about how when people are so just really strong and structured and Saturnian basically in their beliefs, and they're not flexible, it's like being like glass. Like you're super strong and you can hold a lot, and you're very useful, but when the pressure's on or when the temperature changes too quickly, you break. So with judgment reversed, it's an invitation for us to open ourselves up internally to more than one or two options as to how we want our inner good to be renewed and be resurrected. Because remember, judgment is a resurrection of what's dead within that is good. Not what's dead and needs to go, but what's dead and that we just haven't paid attention to in a long time. With the justice reversed, okay, justice upright is basically karmic balance. Whether we think it's fair or not, it's coming through. Here with the justice reversed, we might need to kind of take the wheel and drive, or take a little leg up in this system, because if justice reversed energy is reverberating for us all around us and through our collective, then that means that we need to be aware that like not everything might come through clean and clear, in the karmic balance might have to be struck through what we do with ourselves. Otherwise, in just the most mundane sense, we might have to deal with things that we don't want to deal with, like paperwork, or different types of permits, or just things that we don't want to handle within the justice system, just simple stuff. Because sometimes the tarot is not like that deep, but in an energetic sense, if I'm reading for the energy of all of us all around, this could also mean that there have been some really unjust, really unfair actions taken by like governmental systems and institutions like that haven't panned out in the favor of actual society and actual people that make up the fabric of society. Four of Pentacles in the near future is an opportunity for us to establish very sturdy and stable foundations and even be able to save a little bit. But here, like, this person's almost quasi obsessed with penny pinching, being frugal. They have their mind on their money and their money on their mind, right? And their hands have nowhere to go because they're just sort of stuck with what they have. So this can be a card of buying too much house, for example, and then the interest rates change or the property taxes go up and now you're stuck with it. You know what I mean? This is us also being isolated from society and isolated from what else is going on because we're clinging to our money too much and we're worried about saving money. We're worried about being frugal. So this is an invitation to sort of open ourselves up to physical experiences, because pentacles are physical. It's our bodies, it's our food, it's our experiences in the 3D, and it's also how we build our foundations. And so Four of Pentacles is not necessarily even a good card for work. It's just a good card for saving what we have. But it's also an invitation to share if we have, resources to share, because without opening up, there's going to be no flow here. You know what I mean? This person needs to move towards the Eight of Pentacles to where there's like a little bit of a flow, where they put in and they get back a return for their investment. Here they're just clinging, but eventually as the pentacles start stacking up, the 4 to the 5 to the, actually the 4 leads to the 5, and we all know what the 5 of Pentacles is. That's that poverty consciousness. That's that loss of the pentacles entirely. So this is like clinging too much to the sand in your hand and it slips through, you know what I mean? That's what I always think of when I see this card. So I guess it's just stuff for us to think about. Pentacles, communications. Are we judging ourselves or others unfairly? And do we have to deal with the karmic repercussions of things, fair or not? We're still going to have to somehow be stable in this reality. I love you. That's what I have for today. Have a good one now. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon.